there's a fine line. As a leader, you can become too much part of the team, or you can be too much not part of the team. So I can't tell you, this is a qualitative thing, I can't give you a precise equation to solve here. But you can't forget the fact that you are the person in charge, and you're being held accountable what's going to happen. More than the people working for you are going to be held accountable. So you don't want to be one of the guys in every sense of the word. At the same time, though, you want to get people to know you and to have respect for you in the right way. And so social events, doing things with a team that are not part of the job are pretty important. You can go too far with that. But it's important to get people to know that you care about them. Most important thing I can do is know who you are, a bit about your family, whatever you want to tell me about your family, nothing necessarily private, but where you come from, the kind of things that really make you happy. When I talk to students, I've asked everybody, what's your major, what year you at, things like that. That's just a natural way for me to find out a bit about you. If we had more time, I would know where you're from, know a bit about maybe your family life, what kind of aspirations you have, what kind of job you want to do when you graduate. Those kind of things come after a while. So having that kind of relationship is very important in a team, so you begin to know everybody there, not simply as an employee or somebody to do work for you as the team leader, but someone who's a real person who has the same kinds of issues and the same kinds of joys and troubles you have, and you can share that with them too. It's important to know each other as people, not simply as parts of a thing called a team doing a project. So I always try to get to know people really, really well and socialize with them to the right level. And again, that's a fine line you draw there, but we'd also do things to celebrate. If there's a birthday, just celebrate little things that you accomplish. If you have a timeline, a schedule, it's nice to recognize milestones and take a little break and say, wow, job well done, we got it out. Those are important things to do. So it really enhances productivity when you can come together like that and share some things together and tell stories. Humans tell stories. That's how we get to know each other. One challenge I have, which I can't do much about, I'll just share with you, 33 students have died since I became interim president in June of last year. It's a challenge in two ways. First of all, I do write a letter to each family expressing the sympathy of the entire Aggie community. And that's, I'm at a distance, I can do that fairly straightforwardly. It's not fun to do, and you try to find the right words. But most families come to Silver Taps. And so I go over to the Core Center before Silver Taps about 9:30 and meet with them. And that's hard. So you talk to parents. Usually parents come, and maybe siblings, maybe grandparents, aunts and uncles, friends. And you talk to them, and you try to find a way to give them some comfort. It's hard. The other challenge I mentioned, which is maybe obvious to you, is we are in some pretty tough budgetary times right now. And because of that, we as a university have had to tell some of our staff people and some faculty they won't be back again. That's tough. Not telling them they're doing a bad job. You're not telling them you don't really want them anymore. You're just saying, look, we don't have the money to pay you anymore. And we've got to make some choices about who could stay and who could go. That's tough. You'll find yourselves as you go through life, especially in the private sector, this is not uncommon. When you've got to downsize because of whatever happened. Your project goes away, economy gets bad like it is right now, and things have to change. And it's very tough. It's tough to be told you're losing your job. It's also tough to tell somebody you're losing your job. I don't take any joy in it at all. So those are challenging things to do. But you've got to remember you're doing this because of the organization and its needs overall. We have almost 50,000 students here and almost 10,000 faculty and staff. That's a lot of people. And we haven't let many people go, we let some go, but everyone's special. And having to go through that's pretty challenging for me anyway. Not kind of depressing topics, but I want to be honest with you and tell you those are challenges. I wish I could say that There's some fun things. And there are some fun things that are challenging too. But those are the hardest things I have to deal with every day typically. And I really don't want to give you one answer exactly. I've mentioned one thing already. Silver taps is very special to me. Saying favorite implies it's something that you look forward to. I don't look forward to exactly what it's about, but it's a very special thing for Aggies. Muster's very special to me too. Remember, I've been to many musters over my lifetime. I've spoken at several of them as well. Those are extraordinary events that bring you together in a very, very special way. Elephant Walk, though, is one I have a lot of fun with. And remember that from my own time here at Texas A&M. And I try to get out myself when it happens and do my walk as well. I really enjoy that. And I enjoy the year that PETA got mad at us for having elephants here on campus and mistreating them so terribly. So, but those are the ones I really think about a lot. If you ask me about when I was here, I've got to honestly answer that bonfire was what I really enjoyed a lot when I was a student here in the 60s. And of course, that has its own story. But that was a lot of fun to be part of that. A long, long time ago, when I was a very young professor, I was teaching physics at the time, and I dressed fairly casual. I wear slacks and an open collar shirt to class when I taught. And one day, the president of the university sent the word down to the faculty that it would be appropriate for us to wear ties when we taught class. Well, being the rebel that I am, I said, I'm not going to wear a long tie, and I'll show him I'm going to wear a bow tie. So I began wearing a bow tie just as a protest against this directive to the faculty to wear a tie. And you wear it for a while, and you kind of get used to it, and realize my given name, my middle name actually is Bowen, B-O-W-E-N, okay? And I began to realize if I met you one day and said, my name is Bowen Loftin, and the bow tie was there, when you saw me again, you'd remember me. The bow tie is very distinctive. You probably had a connection to the name as well. And so I got more senior in my world and began trying to market the research I was doing. I found it very useful to have people remember who I was. And so this is kind of growing after a while. So after a while, I realized this is probably an extraordinarily good way to identify myself to individuals that I want to remember me. And I began doing it. So I've had that ever since. So I have about 300 of them now. And I get gifts fairly often. I get probably a few a month as gifts from students and other people who give me a bow tie to wear, and I appreciate that very much. But I tend to only wear bow ties with maroon. That's my usual trademark around here. And I'm going to wear again, the last 2 Saturdays I've worn another bow tie which has maroon and white stripes. And so I'm going to wear the same one Saturday. We beat the hell out of Nebraska.